Dinosaurs, pterodactyls, and plesiosaurs. Does that
What's
make
up,
any
baby?
sense? Well, hopefully it does as we continue with this workshop. So let's keep on going. Today we're going to talk about dragons that would live on the land, okay? We're going to talk about dragons that would swim in the water. And
Would you
we're
like
going
to
talk
talk
about
about
dragons
dragons?
that would fly in the air. So I'm going to start off with dragons of the air. Look at this. Boy, isn't that cool? I love this picture. I'm going to see it again. I'd like to see it one more time. Oh, I just love that picture. Flying dragons, that's what we're going to be talking about. And look here in this
You like
old
this
history
guy?
book right here. What's that date
Huh?
say right up at the top?
What is it?
793 AD in England. And what's it talk about? Talks about dragons flying.
What is it, Isabella?
All right.
Huh?
And
I know
look at
you
here.
saw
This
somebody
is good.
outside.
I love this one right here. This is in the Bible. This is in the book of Isaiah. In Isaiah 36, it talks about a flying serpent. And a serpent is a reptile. Okay, so you see how we're starting to connect the dots here, what some of these dragons could be. Now, in the movies that you go and watch, they make the dragons look like this right here. And that makes a good, exciting movie. I gotta admit, that's a pretty cool looking critter that's flying. But I don't quite think
What do you
that's what
think,
the real
Isabella?
flying dragons were based on today. Oh, some of these pterodactyls got to be big. They did. They would have a wingspan of almost 20 feet. Can you imagine that? 20 feet. That's a pretty big flying reptile, is it not? Now, I believe these creatures lived right along with people. And I am convinced that there's where the legends of the flying dragons would come from. Now, if I'd be living back when these creatures would still be alive, and let's say that we're in maybe
How you doing?
late 14 or 1600s
What you
or
up
so,
to?
and I'd be out hunting squirrels, and I'd be backed up against a big old tree, and something, I hear it flapping its wings, and I look up, and something like that would fly over my head with a 20-foot wingspan. Mercy! I'd probably run back to the village as fast as I could go, and I'd tell everybody, you're not going to believe what I just saw. I just saw a flying dragon. I wouldn't call it a pterodactyl, would I? There's a good reason why I wouldn't call it a pterodactyl, because the word pterodactyl wasn't even invented yet. But I'd probably call a creature like that a flying dragon. Now, some of them even got to be bigger. The one I just showed you, that pteranodon, had a wingspan of, what did I say, about 20 feet? Look at this one right here, the wingspan the size of an airplane. Mercy, that is a big flying critter. Almost 40 feet. The scientists believe this creature's wingspan would have been, called Quetzalcoatl.
What's the matter?
Guess where they found it? They found it in
Nothing?
Texas. Hey,
What
you
you up to?
expect it to be big in Texas, right? So that there's one of the flying dragons, and I'm convinced that the flying dragons are what we call pterodactyls today. Is there any reason to believe that people have seen these creatures? And yes, there is. This is a pictograph. This is what the Indians would draw on canyon walls.
What's the matter? You
And I believe
sleepy?
this is a picture of a pterodactyl. Let me outline it for you a little bit so you can see it a little bit clearer. Here we got it outlined. Now, if the Indians wanted us, so the flying dragons. Wow, I'm convinced that the flying dragons connect very well with what we call pterodactyls. Now let's talk about the land dragons, the ones that would live on the land. Hey, could some dinosaurs been called dragons? What do y'all think? Well, yeah, I think they could be. Before the word dinosaur was invented, many, many years ago, when they start to find the bones of these creatures we call dinosaurs today, what do you suppose they called them years ago when they find the bones? You're right, they called them dragons. They called them dragon bones. Why didn't they call them dinosaurs? That's easy. The word dinosaur wasn't invented yet.